Okay, it's been a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm sitting on something. I'll be right back in a second. Okay, we're going to get started in a minute. Okay, the creator told me to get on today, so I got on. All right, y'all, I'm still doing my leap, so I'll wait till we get more people in. So, the breakthrough of your life has been activated. Doesn't mean that it's happening, it's activated. Okay, which means that uh, it's a high percentage that it's going to happen, that is coming, is being manifested. Okay, some of y'all are manifesting a breakthrough right now, and I want to give guidance for that. So if you're looking to do a new venture, maybe if you're thinking of starting a new YouTube channel, it might end up becoming successful. It might end up having a breakthrough April of next year, like a really big breakthrough. So if you made some plans to start a new business or something of that nature, this is the time to do it. Now, I've been getting all kinds of random downloads, y'all. I got some downloads that said, keep it real, be honest. You know, at some point, when you decide to not blame other people and just take responsibility for your life choices, then you can start to feel like there's a clearing of any blockages. Okay? So take responsibility for your life choices and accept that you might have made some bad choices that might have got you stuck, and just worry about finding the help that you need. Now, another download that I got, and I keep getting it more than once, is this quote: done is better than perfect. I keep getting that. So perfectionism will literally cause delays in your manifestation. So the creator told me that we have to look at manifesting like a baby being conceived and created. Okay, it's done in parts. So you can't expect your manifestation to suddenly be complete or abundant. It has to happen in parts. You have to have the right the right power for each part of that manifestation. So if you're struggling in completing projects, which could be a manifestation, you need to ask yourself, am I applying the right power or enough power to a certain part of my manifestation? What part of my manifestation is struggling? What part of it is struggling? And here's something else that the creator told me. Every manifestation, even a manifestation of life, a lifestyle, has a struggle part of it, and you can't avoid it. Okay? That's what it means by just having faith and accepting your contract, whatever you're doing, is that you're willing to accept the struggle part. You have to ask yourself if the struggle part is worth having, because how important the manifestation is to you, and how important the struggle part is. So, for example, if you're a writer, and that means that you struggle with being able to have expensive things or expensive diets because you can't work a 9 to 5 job much as everybody else because you need the time to write. You have to ask yourself, how important is the things that the 9 to 5 job give you when you work it a lot? So how important is it to have the fancy things and expensive things. If it's not that important, then the writing life is probably better. It's better. It's a manifestation that you can do. Now, and of course, once the manifestation is more abundant, you can get those things that the 9 to 5 job will give you, expensive things, but you might not want it then. See, as they say, you can never miss what was never important to you and what you never had. So if you want all your power and energy to go into the actual manifestation, don't allow yourself to have some things that's going to take up too much of your mental space. This means a bunch of friends. You may need to sacrifice that. Chasing materialism, that may take up too much of your mental space. Having to take care of the things that's expensive that you own. You may have to sacrifice all that. Okay? I think the story of Charles Bukowski is one of the most powerful stories for understanding how to become an elite manifester. Charles Bukowski didn't have to have the greatest work compared to all the writers of his time. But Charles Bukowski locked into his own manifestation abilities. And he could not be stopped. I mean, the man was popping out book after book after book after book after book every year. Okay? And I mean, talking about 200, 300 page books, he was literally unstoppable. And I know people say, well, his drinking. It wasn't because of his drinking. It was because technicality of his lifestyle was actually working for his writing manifestation. The technicality of not being able to afford a lot of other things that would have taken his mind off writing. Yeah, that was a technicality by him leaving his post office job and working just temp jobs and living off a little bit of inheritance he had and maybe money he won through gambling. Yeah, that was a risk, but that was a risk he felt was worth taking because he saw writing as his direct connection to his savior. So everything else was optional. Everything else was not that big of a deal to him, which means he was completely locked in manifest himself as an unstoppable writer. You cannot complete a breakthrough, a manifestation without sacrifice. The bill must be paid. People are trying to have manifest a power within without paying the price. I paid the price to get these downloads. I paid the price of getting the writing ability strong every single day and staying strong. I miss out on phone conversations. And I don't miss it because, like I said, you can't miss what you didn't focus on. You can't miss that you didn't glamorize. You can't miss what you didn't keep in mind. So I don't miss socializing with different people. I don't miss adult and sex stuff because I don't glamorize it, because I don't linger on it, long on it in my mind. The longing of it is not in my mind. I consistently have a longing of being wise and poetic. And because I'm consistent, the moment I open my eyes, it's like, bam, a longing for it. Nothing else can conquer me. Nothing else can dominate like it wants to. Okay? A lot of people are not accessing their unbelievable power. All of us have at least 3 superpowers. 3. Like villains often have 3 superpowers. Like the guy, Mr. Glass, he was intelligent. He was manipulative. Okay? He was very calculating. The villain, Mr. Glass. Okay, he was a genius. He was very highly manipulative. Okay, and he was unpredictable. He had behavior and internal superpowers. To access those superpowers requires sacrifice. Mr. Glass, his bones was easily breaking. Okay, Superman didn't have no family, and he could not be on his birth planet anymore. He would not be Superman if he was on his birth planet. So what I'm saying is get used to making the sacrifices. And one of the sacrifices that I think we all have to make as a whole is stop glamorizing other people's life. Okay? Stop glamorizing and work within your own energy and power. Use the energy of where you're at that has already worked for you. There's energy in your home that has worked for you already. Stop glamorizing other people's homes thinking it will better serve you. Because the bottom line, I'm talking about their homes, their cars, their bank accounts. Stop glamorizing that, all that. For example, if you had all the money that Elon Musk had, you could snap your fingers and have it right now. Would you continue your manifestation? Probably not. Because it was the money that you wanted. It was all the money. You got it right away. Would you be that happy? No, because you would not have the experience of the journey. You would feel like you cheated yourself out of some sort of memory abundance. See what I'm saying? You would feel false to yourself because you know that you didn't do the journey. You didn't do the adventure. So you would pay by being a hypocrite, telling everybody else they got to do the work when you didn't do the work. You just got all the money. So start glamorizing doing the work. So in the end, you feel like you've been honest to yourself. There's no self-hate that creep into you when it's almost time to check out and you got your manifestation. Because believe it or not, a lot of manifestations, big manifestations, happen when you're halfway through the lifespan that God has creator, the cosmos has chosen for you. I know that's a shocker. Like, wow, Miss B, you hit me right in the head with that. But it's the truth. Normally, people are hanging by a thread by the time the manifestation is complete. Their health and they're not because they were glamorizing things they were forbidden to glamorize according to their manifestation. Like Michael Jackson, he was not supposed to be glamorizing all that materialism, having a whole warehouse full of stuff just sitting in there, expensive stuff. Yet he was a believer that he should be a giver. He should help Africa. He should help starving kids. Yet he was storing away money and storing away possessions. That was forbidden according to his purpose. And I'm not saying that's what happened to him, but that's why what happened to him happened. But that is the course that he got on. See what I'm saying? Trying to cheat, and this is what I heard. People are trying to cheat and avoid the sacrifices. They're trying to avoid it. Like I saw a woman today get out of her car. She was 300 pounds. She could barely walk, but she stepped out of a very fancy, expensive car, and she was very kind of egotistical. She looked at my used car. I seen her. She looked at hers, and I said to myself, she's never going to lose that weight until she stops glamorizing a bigger, expensive car. She's never. Because that big car is allowing her to sit in there and eat and be in misery and hide her situation. See what I'm saying? You need to be reminded of your struggles. It needs to be in your face. You don't need illusions and shortcuts. You don't need to fake like you're rich. You don't need instant gratification. You need it right in your face so you can stay motivated. And the struggle is not because you don't have expensive things with other people. Your struggle should be because your needs need to be fully met and they're not being met. That is what struggle is. You need to have good health and you don't, you're struggling. You need a home that doesn't make you a home slave. Like my daughter's home. This home makes me a home slave. That means that this is still a struggle home as far as in my energy. But there's always a place within a place that makes it less difficult. You find that place within that place. You work the energy of that place so that you can leave the entire place eventually. Like when you live in a city that's toxic, there's always a little part of that that's not that toxic. There's always a little part that's kind of serves you. You stay there until you can get out of the whole place. But you don't say it's struggling all because it's not with Jane John have. Having a $10,000 car that works just fine is not struggling. It's this is the realest talk. This is the realest talk. People are basing their struggles on other people's lack of struggles compared to their struggles. This is why you have to live your life minding your own business. Throw out all the scripture parents gave you if you are over 40. Throw them all out. Get rid of it. Because they have taught you that your quality is based on everybody else's quality. And that's not true. Now, of course, there is rules. There is rules for every manifestation so that you can at least be a finalist in the manifestation. So what I'm saying is you can at least have a decent car. That would make you a finalist according to the American Dream car world. But there's still rules. And they can be they can be bent, but they cannot be broken with manifestation or karmic. Karma debt is piles up. You pay with karma. And what this means is you got to put in the work. You got to let God tell you what to do. That's a rule that you can't break. You got to use your own intuition. Everybody else's is questionable. You question it and you use your own intuition on whether what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. And if it says a no, or you can't really say a yes, then don't even do it. Because then even if you're a finalist, you cheated. And you pay energetically. So if you're trying to at least be a finalist where you're like, I don't want to live under a bridge. I want to at least have a decent apartment. Okay, you're a finalist in the American Dream. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't break the rules. There are rules. No taking money, no tricks, no tricking people. Because you want that manifestation to serve you till you die. You want it to last. You don't want to become a slave to it. You don't want anyone to accuse you of being a witch in the way you got it. You don't want people saying you don't deserve it. You don't want to get a bad reputation because it feels like you don't deserve it. A part of having the life that you deserve, not that you want, you deserve according to the work you've done and the character that you have, is honesty and integrity. And if you want to protect that, you have to mind your business. Even when you think you got some of it, you got it going on. Mind your business. Doesn't matter what so-and-so got, whether they got a car nice as yours. It's none of your business. And I know, and I know people say, well, that's hard for me because it's like I'm stuck in comparing. Because what you're going after, you're not going out, you're not doing in the energy of an angel. That's why you're comparing. You don't care enough about society to do what you're doing. You're only doing it because you're trying to keep up. You have to care about this world in order to stop comparing yourself to other people. You have to care. You can't just be an I. You take care of yourself, you help yourself, serve yourself in the morning, and when you go out there, you make it your personal goal to put a smile on somebody's face. Doesn't matter who it is. And you'll find out. Let me tell you something about doing that. It leads to portals to your manifestation. And putting a smile on someone's face don't mean giving unsolicited advice. Putting a smile on someone's face is using your personal superpower to enlighten them. Whether it's funny, witty, whether it's truth teller, whether it's being unguarded and sharing a wonderful thought. Trauma dumping, that's not putting a smile on somebody's face. If I haven't put a smile on somebody's face at least one day a week that is not familiar to me, or someone that I think is suffering, if I haven't put a smile on their face, then I really haven't done my job. It doesn't matter how good my YouTube channel went. It doesn't matter how brilliant I am in writing. I'm still a runner-up in serving this world. I'm not even a finalist. Character is very important. You can have all the wisdom you want. You can be as gifted as you want. But if your character stinks, no one cares. What's the point of having a stinking character and you're alone with everything that you own? You remember growing up, if you played with your toys all by yourself all the time, that wasn't fun but so long. So I got a download that said, antisocial is the new low vibration. Yeah. We might think it's not, because we can consume all the intelligence because we're like in solitude and protecting our energy. But that's the new low vibration, because there is somebody out there that was waiting to get the love and attention that you could give, but you didn't give it because you're antisocial and you're in a me, myself, and I. You're thinking about only of your own pain. You're thinking about only of your own struggles. You're thinking about only of your own desires and wants and needs. When there's a limit to that every single day, there's a limit to that sort of focus. We know that that type of focus is exactly how we got serial killers. That's how we got sociopaths. That's how we got grandiose narcissists. The antisocial movement is literally creating vulnerable and grandiose narcissists, and people don't even realize that that's exactly why they feel like the cosmos is passive aggressive with blessing them. They say, I'm tired of going months and months with the same old. Because character, your belief about society is getting in the way. I stopped watching videos of whatever anybody got to say about society. I don't want to hear it. Even if people have a lot of negativity to say, politics to say about this and that and gender war, this and that. I just know what I know from my personal experience, and so I know where I need to put my energy. Because the Creator told me, as a woman of color, that I have to help other women of color. I have to have them give them their own special menu, their own special class. Just like lioness help lioness, lions help lions, parrots, certain birds help certain birds within the bird world. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you don't get to do is shut everybody else out in society and expect to have a breakthrough. And this is what's starting to happen. This is what's starting to happen. People are saying, I'm only going to do this with this group and not, but I expect to be successful. That's not going to work. I'm picking this up when I'm out here. Today, this 300-pound woman literally rushed to the door, and then I seen her go like this, like she wanted the door to slam on me. She wanted the door to slam in my face. She felt some kind of way that my energy was cool and relaxed when I got out the car. And that was a reminder that even though she has an expensive car, she still ain't at the level she's supposed to be at, behaving like that while being 300 pounds. Everybody got struggles. And you don't get to hide your struggles from everybody. So when you conduct yourself foul, somebody might see your struggles and might laugh at you and be like, you look ridiculous. Because if I experienced that energy this morning, I know other people experiencing that weird energy. Where people feel some type of way that you're cool in society. That you're not in that energy that they in. That you're not matching the overall energy of the world where I don't got enough time, I need to always be on the grind. If you're in that energy, then you cannot expect to be able to go hard in, to persevere in your goals. Thinking and knowing you favored is saying I got plenty of time. See, that's when you know you're favored. That's when you know, without physical evidence, that you know you're favored. I got plenty of time. No one makes me rush. I'm not rushing for doors. I'm not rushing to feed anybody. I'm not rushing through showers. You know what? Showers ain't hard because I got all the time that I need. I got all the time because I don't know any other time. That was another download I got. You don't know any other time but the time that you can imagine and the time you're in right now. And the time you've already spent. That's it. That's it. There's no way for you to really calculate how much living time you got. And time is a matter of feeling. It's a matter of perspective. I might have 100 years in 1 year because I was living my life to the fullest. It felt like I lived 100 years, but the 100 years was good. You may feel like you only had one good 1 year of life because all the other years felt like death. So it's all about perspective. And when you get to this point, you will be like, it really doesn't matter because whatever I'm doing in this moment, I actually enjoy it. So what does it matter how long I'm taking? What does it matter? If you're late for something? You're late for your job, you can get another job. You're late for your doctor's appointment, you can get another doctor's appointment. Only things you can't be late for is things that the law say you can't be late for. Other than that, you could be late for every other thing. You could be late to see your boo. You could be late there. There is no late. Unless the law say you're late. I'm looking at the time, y'all. I'm watching my time. 9:37. Only reason why I watch my time is because I'm working on this new system that I got in the email about alarms. Okay, I need to set an alarm for my videos. I forgot to do that for my live videos. So I have a cutoff time for my live videos now. And it doesn't matter what downloads to come through. Why? Because I have more of a life than just doing live YouTube. You have more of a life than just streaming and surfing on these apps. You know there's something you greatly enjoy. If you get to do that every day, then you lived. It doesn't matter about what other struggles you had. Use those moments, even if they're only 20 minutes, that reminded you of the power that you got, your importance in this world, what makes you special. Use those moments as fuel for your energy the next day to be a torch out in the world the next day. Use that. When you go to bed, you think about those moments of the day that reminded you of how important you are. And then you wake up and you sit in that energy and you think about it again. And you're thinking about it again. And then until it puts a spark under your feet, you don't get out of bed. There is no jumping out of bed at 6 a.m. because the monks tell you at that time. You wait until the Creator puts the fire under your feet. Being sad, mad, angry, outraged, triggered, you're not ready for the world at all. Your manifestation is going to be like it's going to feel you as toxic. Wait on the energy to motivate you. It's the people who you blessed before. They're sending you a spark. It's the things that the Holy Spirit is working on behind the scenes for you. It's sending you a spark. It's the things in your space, this proof of your power. It's sending you a spark. It's all the collection of the positive affirmations over that week. It's sending you a spark. It's the little favors and nice things that people done for you over the last 30 days. It's sending you sparks because it's still echoing in your metaphysical space. Eat it up, absorb the sparks, and then start your day. And show up being real to your energy. Don't change your energy to meet some script, because your energy, the energy that you naturally comfortably be in, even if it's like high vibe, funny, bold energy, that is your special energy for your manifestation. When I used to show up on this channel and I'm gonna be soft, like soft whisper, that wasn't really working for me. I like being strong like daylight when you first wake up. Light is strong too. It ain't always soft. For real, softness, me being soft is for other people who's weak. Me being soft is for babies. Me being soft is for elders. Me being soft is for toddlers. It's not for grown-ups who is in dire need of a breakthrough. I can be soft so that you can get sleep and relax. But you don't need me to do that. You don't need me for that. Most of the world needs a push out of their comfort zone and more faith in themselves and more desire to go out in society and give and receive and not just hoard everything they're getting online. I don't want nothing else online unless I'm planning to give it away. That's how I feel about it now. Even if somebody send me money, I'm going to give some knowledge away, because knowledge is money too. I'm going to put something out there. I don't want to watch people's videos anymore and just let that stuff sit in my head. That's hog energy. That's pig energy. If I'm not using it, it's trash. If I'm not giving it away on someone who could use it, it's trash. Then I become a dumpster. That's what brain rot is. Brain rot doesn't mean just, because you're consuming a lot. It is because You're holding on to all the consumption. And that also includes dieting. People keep forgetting that dieting affects your manifestation abilities. That's why it's very important. I recently learned it's important to do 2 meals and 1 snack. That I recently learned that because I don't think our ancestors were firing up the fire pit in the middle of the day. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. I think they were just plant-based, eating leaves or whatever, nuts and fruits and berries, because they had other things they wanted to do, and a purging had to continue. They had to release some of the consumption that they got from that morning or conversations that they had that morning. I think that the world is falling into some karmic judgment because so many of us as a collective is glamorizing consumption. It's making us think we don't need no love out here because look at all I got. I'm wise, I'm intelligent, I got this YouTube channel, I got that one, I got these books, I got Kindle, I got this. It's like it's making you think you don't need nobody. It's making you think you don't need people. And you will always need people. Hi, everybody. You will always need people, like people, like the face of people. This is why when you hang online too long and you go out, you'll find that at some point you're staring at people. You'll find that you're at some point focusing on people is unavoidable. Because it is. Meaning this. We're meant to socialize with other people. We're meant to share what we know. A fleeting, intelligent thought. I do it all the time. When I go in the gas stations, I would just say something to the cashier. Y'all would love me as a customer because I say something to cashiers at least one day a week to make them be like, "Oh, I never thought of that." Like today, when I was at the gas station, there was a lady there, and I forget, but I had said, "How you doing?" I always see her there, and I was kind of loud, right? I was like, "Yeah," and normally I'm not loud. I said, "You know what? I'm noticing that I'm loud every time I get out the shower." I said, "Did you notice how you get all fired up?" She said, "Yeah, so do I." I said, "I think we're meant to." Because once you get out the shower, it's time for the fight for God. There's a battle. You're clean. You're ready. She said, "Yeah." I said, "But do you notice how like some people aren't in that energy?" I said, "Some people ain't clean." She said, and I said, "This is why our mom and dad," I said to the cashier, "This is why our mom and dad always tell us, no matter what, be clean. Be clean, okay? Even if you can't meditate and pray, a shower will get you closer to God, okay? It will get you closer to God. And God is powerful and loud and thundering and strong like the mountains and bold and beautiful. And like, I know I'm beautiful, okay? And I do get jealous of when somebody tried to take what's mine when I know, because I know my worth. You know, I didn't know this, but jealousy can actually be a blessing. Yeah. Provided that you stick to your morals and your ethical. Jealousy can be a blessing too. We're attaching so much negativity to every type of emotion and feeling that we're discarding certain emotions when we shouldn't be. My jealousy towards people with healthy hair has motivated me to take my hair care seriously. And that's my jealousy, My jealousy growing up towards people who always had clearer skin, because I was in fights. I was attacked as a kid, so I used to have scars here. I had scars everywhere. My jealousy towards my little sister's clear, beautiful, fair skin made me put rose oil on my skin for years. So I told the back to the story. I told hi everybody. I told the cashier. I said, I told her, I said, did you notice that? And she didn't even notice it. But this is how I know clean people is when they're comfortable with public communication and they sound like they're kind of loud, not real loud. Now, I'm sorry to say, I'm not saying everybody uncomfortable with public communication is dirty, but there is something in you you're not dealing with. You'd be more sociable. If you wasn't doing the work, if you was doing the work on something about yourself and you were seeing some results, you would definitely be more sociable. You wouldn't be whispering and tiptoeing around in society. I'm seeing a lot of really obese people in that energy. I'm seeing a lot of people who are hooked on drugs, like the weed. They in that I don't talk too much energy. They oppressing their feelings, they're oppressing their pain, but they're not going through the pain. Like the monk said, you got to go through the pain. And there's work to do. Sitting just taking things to make the pain less felt, it's not gonna work. It's just gonna build back up. There's things that you specifically have to do to make pain a superpower or a supporter of your superpower. And whatever those things are, it's different for everybody. Okay, for my mom, it was cooking. If she was suffering, she would feed you. If she got real sad, she would feed you. When she stopped cooking for everybody and she started becoming very antisocial. And it wasn't that she had to keep cooking for us. She had to just keep cooking for somebody. There was people in the family who was taking advantage of her and taking her cooking for granted. Even though she was a good cook. She didn't have to stop cooking. She just had to cook for people who would appreciate her cooking. But because she stopped doing that, she wasn't socializing no more. She became a toxic hermit. Paranoid. Scared to be out in the world. Scared to go outdoors and be different. See, when you know you have been doing your superpower, when you go out in the world, you like, I know what I can do, so I know what I can do. So I don't look like everybody here. And but I know what I bring to the table in society. So whatever. That's like so deep. That's just so deep. And you know what I found out too? Is that sometimes people have been programmed to have a sort of self-hate that's really unnecessary. That's another thing. And that affects their ability to connect with the world. This is why you really do got to be careful of who you let parent you, no matter what age you are. Like, for me, I feel like this. Self-care is for feeling good. It's not for other people to recognize your beauty. It's not for any of that. It's for you to just take care of yourself. To extend your life. That's what it's for. To extend your life so that you're in an energy that is healthy for you. That's what self-care is for. It's not for you to fit in. It's not for people to not to not pick on you, because then they own you. See, they own you. The world then owns you. That means if you ever decide that your self care is something else, and the world says no, that don't work, then you're going to change. Most of the time, we change who we are all because of the influences. Just think about it. If you never saw a three story home, or a mansion, would you ever want it or desire it? Probably not. If everybody was walking around with short hair, would you want hair all the way down to your feet? Probably not. So being mindful of what's in your environment is critical, because it affects your money. Almost, you can't get nothing almost without money. You just can't almost anymore. So the influences in your world affects your finances. How you're influenced about self-care affects your finances. How you're influenced about your diet affects your finances. When I started to really realize this, is when I started to say, you know what? There's some things I'm gonna just have to do myself, because I feel like if I let the influences take over, then I'll end up spending more money. And if I can't do it, that means I'll be paying other people to do it, and that's more money. You're always going to spend more money getting somebody else to do it. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay? So I decided, because I drink coffee sometime for my liver health, and I had a concussion. That's why y'all see me sometimes glitch when I talk. I had a concussion a couple years ago, about 2 years ago. It could take years to recover from a concussion. But they told me that coffee helps to stabilize the brain again. So I was going to these coffee places and all of that, but I was influenced. I was influenced to think you're more into coffee if you go out for coffee. If you go to Starbucks, if you go to the gas station, get it, then it's like a real coffee. Or if you have a machine do all the work, it's then you're in boss energy. So I decided to throw out my K-cup machine today and get me a French presser. Now, is that going to be more work with me pressing down the grinds? Yeah. But I want to be in my ancestors' energy. I don't want to be so spoiled anymore. I don't want to always have the local salon to do my hair. I don't always want to have the local gas station to give me coffee. I think we're just all too spoiled, and we're saying that we're not when we are. Gratitude is not working for us because we're all still too spoiled and in denial. We have too much time on our hands at time to seem boring because we're spoiled. Because we're spoiled. You know who's not spoiled? Okay? Babies. I know we all think babies are spoiled. No, because babies have a lot to learn. They have to learn a lot of things on their own. They have to learn how to sort it out in their mind, how to talk, how to walk, how to count, how to read. But we have everything to do it for us. We are aware that we can hire people to do things, or that we could just push one button and get on YouTube and get the knowledge. We need to go back in the day where we had to go to the library to get the stuff. We actually had to do some sort of work for it. I don't want to be so much in the button pushing world. Like when you get a book on Amazon, you have to look up the book, you have to open the book, you have to scroll through the book, you actually have to read. But now everyone's like, I don't have to do that. I can just push this button on these apps and just sit back and listen. And it's just like, It's like I don't have to cook my food. I can just go to takeout. I can just go to TV dinners. I can go eat at grandma's on Sundays. I can get all grandma's leftover food on Sundays and eat for 3 days. That's and then we wonder why some people are leaving us in the dust. Some people of other countries, Africa, UK. Why? Why are they in that creative energy, or Asian people, creative energy that's leaving us in the dust? It's because they're not being spoiled. They don't care about being privileged. Them Asian people are cooking their meals from scratch right in their kitchen. I've never seen an Asian person glorify eating TV dinners or takeout. I'm just saying, y'all. They will sew their clothes back together if their clothes ain't right. They will hand wash their stuff out. We know what we do. Oh, somebody need to take the laundry downstairs. No. I found two bell bottom pants that I bought, brand new. Okay, the one pair of pants was too tight. I was ready to sell them. I said, no, I'm just gonna lose weight. I said, that's what I'm talking about. I know I need to lose more weight, so why don't I just lose the weight? No, I want to be privileged. See, I want to go get some new pants at the weight that I'm at, knowing that I need at least lose 10 more pounds. I have another pair of bell bottom pants that literally ripped. I'm literally a little bit too big. I said, I could just like hem them in, or I can sell them. But why am I going to just throw them away? Because of privilege. Oh, I can just throw it away because I got money to get some more. See, that's that right there. That right there. Okay, like Lynn Richardson say, money creeps away from you quietly. Americans, we got the most money in this country, and we're the brokest. Period. The average American got no more than $1,000. They did a check on an estimate. The average American don't even keep more than $2,000 in their bank account. But yet they're rolling and they making straight money because we're too privileged. And we could be making a lot more money if we just get rid of these privileges. These things that spoil us. We say, I don't gotta leave my house to work. Because I'm a stay-at-home worker. Right there, that's privileged. When if you did your work outside, you would get fresh air. Okay? You would be able to see people. You'd probably be more inspired. But no, I'm at home. I could be messy, trifling and everything in my home while I'm doing work. See, that's privileged. You don't have the privilege to be low maintenance. Like, why as Americans, it's like, I have the privilege to be unkept because I'm in my home doing my work. No, you don't. We have never had the privilege, but we forced that privilege into our life. The Creator has never given us that privilege of doing the bare minimum with ourselves. But we think we got it because we can hide away, because we're not living in the forest somewhere. Okay? Because we got window blinds, we can hide everything. Okay? Y'all, this is the realest talk. I talked to a family member. I said, I'm tired of you thinking because you're in the house all the time that you could be funky and stinky and not wash. I said, look, if you're not going to take a shower every day, then on the second day you need to wash up. It don't matter if you're not going anywhere. Because that's a habit you don't want. You don't want a habit of not taking care of yourself. If you're gonna get any habit, don't get that one. I said you're taking advantage of your privilege that you don't have friends to see. See, this is why we do need friends in society. Friends, they call you out. Friends remind you that you can only be so privileged around them. Okay? Yeah, I'm serious. We need friends to remind us that it's not good to not care about yourself. We want to be privileged in a way that's not good, and we want to be able to protect it. No. No. People are saying I don't date, but I bet you any money you ain't as kept as you was when you was dating. Why don't you date just so you can love yourself more? How about that one? You ain't got to date just to get you a man. You can date so you can keep self-respect. y'all, y'all, we were meant to have somewhere to go, whether it was to the water hole or to the local mountainside, or whether it was to the other tribe through the woods to see what they got, see what they man look like, how fine they men is, or whatever, to see if anybody is looking for a bride. I'm talking to the women. We was meant to go to other tribes, which means we were supposed to be going to places where there are people at. Okay? Because it literally is like if you can't motivate yourself with self-care, believe me, they will motivate you by how they look at you, by how they talk to you, by how they look. It will make you be like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go ahead and put some new clothes on, wash up a little more. It will keep you in check. Self-love, it needs a reference manual. Okay? And other people is it. You might can't get all the way up to their level because you might not got that kind of money. But you can raise your level according to your money and your budget. You can be motivated to pay yourself first. I wasn't motivated to pay myself first because I had nowhere to go, because I had no one to see. So it was easy to just keep on sending money here, there, to everybody else, and there, to that. It was easy to do that. Hi, everybody. My cat put his head up like, go ahead, Mom. My cat, Flick just went like this. Yeah, the truth, huh? Why do you think cats, cats will literally tell you this is true. Ever look at cats, they stare at each other. You think they staring at each other just because they want to fight? They're staring at each other so they can see what the other one's working with. Cats size each other up. That's how they determine the work that they need to do. My one cat, he would always stare at the older cat who was bigger. And I think he got tired of being small. He realized how small he was compared to the older one, so he started eating more. Now he's one of the biggest cats I have. See? He's an alpha now. Flick, are you an alpha? You want to say hi? Want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi, boy? Okay. But, Flick, I can't pick you up right now, but I'll give you some treats in a minute, okay, bud? He wants his 10 o'clock treats. I try to give them treats at 10 so they don't overeat. That's another thing I learned, okay? About the time of day. There's certain times of day that we're not really meant to be alone, y'all. Like, we're not really meant to be alone between, like, 9 and 1 o'clock. A lot of people are, though. They're like, I'm going to be alone, practice my energy, protect my energy. But I think okay, let me give you an example. When kids go to school and they switch classes in school, they talk to each other in the hallways, don't they? They text each other in the hallways between classes. Sometimes when the teacher ain't looking, they pass a little note to each other. This is why young people look better than us. It's not just because of their age, like, whatever. Everybody can stay looking young if everybody would share the energy. Would just connect more. I know that when I know I'm going to go live after 9 a.m., I want to look decent. Messiness and low vibration is for the lonely. It's for that time. It's for you and the priest. It's for you and the priest. and the creator. When you are ready to get out that energy, then you're ready to go out to the world. But once you get out that energy, it doesn't mean that you go and be self-absorbed. A lot of people will get the breakthrough energy and they'll say, I'm just gonna go ahead and be productive and be about my bag. See, that's the problem. That's a problem. Because they don't even realize, as I said, that they step into privileges that is unhealthy for them. Can you imagine how many people in this grinding culture who have sat around real funky, have went as long as they can without washing, just because they was trying to use all the breakthrough energy just to chase the bag? I have had plenty of money to just put in my bank account. It didn't do nothing for my spirit because every time I looked in the mirror, I saw damage I wasn't tending to. Every time I looked at pictures, I could see just how much I've been letting myself go. See, money only works for you when you respect you. Money will turn its back on you when you don't respect you and other people. All the things you love will suddenly suck. I've heard people say everything sucks because you don't got no self-respect. That's why. You didn't have some self-respect with some of the stuff. You probably was doing too much of it, wasting too much of it, greedy for it. You had no respect. That's why it sucks. You probably was not respecting his boundaries, or you was codependent on it. That's why it sucks. This is why narcissists suck to us, because we become codependent on them. And then when they don't come through, we say, you suck. You really can't depend on anyone. I just don't care how long you've known them. People got their own problems, own obstacles and struggles they're not even telling you about. So don't even depend on anybody else. You always need to have that plan that I myself, and I'm more than willing and happy to do it myself if someone else is not going to help me. They didn't help me today. Who knows what they're going through? They could be a bona fide addict. That's why they didn't come around in the last few weeks. Everybody is going through something. The thing is the only real something you can really control is your own. Now you can go out there, you can connect and enlighten, but just know that you have no control over it. I used to think that if I just help people, they would get better. No. So now I just help and I let them have the last say and they can do whatever. And I just know that I help. And I'm not going to pay with my self-respect because I'm upset because they didn't accept my help or they didn't respect it or because my help didn't seem to work, even though I know it works. I'm not going to pay with my self-respect. Because that's what happens when people don't appreciate your help, and you dwell on that, your self-respect takes a hit. The only real proof of your worth is that you did it, that you took the action. That's it. The proof of the results is not the results is not the proof. The confirmation from other people is not the proof. They could be lying to you. Meanwhile, it didn't even work for them. It's not the proof. You could have won because somebody was racist or playing favorites. That's the only reason why you won. It's not the proof. The only proof is that you did the action. That's the only really real thing that matters in your manifestation script. The end, the end the end that never ends. Meaning the end that echoes on is that you took action. Because most people are not going to sit around and talk about everything you got from that action. They really don't care unless they're going to get it in your will. But what people are going to talk about is the actions you took. When you die, that's your legacy, your actions. Okay, that's the only proof. People may say, I may know that I got all my teeth fixed. Okay, because that's the journey I'm on. That's my journey right now. Okay, because my abnormalities with my genes and all that did not give me strong teeth. I didn't choose that manifestation. My parents did, but I can do something about it. Okay? No one's going to say, well, she got a brand new teeth. No one's going to really care. No one's going to really care. But what people are going to say is, she got her teeth fixed. She got her teeth fixed. No one's going to care that your teeth getting fixed made you a supermodel of teeth. People don't really want, a lot of people are so struggling and insecure that they really don't want to make a big deal out of the result you get. I used to think that people would cheer me on once I got my publications, once I got my writing awards. I really thought people were going to go, yay! No, it didn't happen. All people wanted to say is she wrote a book. Ms. V wrote a book. They did not want to talk about the benefits of my book. They didn't even want to mention that they knew the benefits of my book. And that's when I realized that we're living in a world where everyone is always trying to protect their self-esteem levels. So your benefits is something that people are very slow to make a big deal out of. And not everybody's going to think you're worthy of what you get. That's probably why some people don't talk about it. But you will always know your worth because you did what you said you were going to do. Yeah, you kept those promises to yourself. That's proof of your value. That you said, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to write every day. No matter how much I write. I'm going to keep that. That is character. Now you are proving how good, you're powerful your character is. You're keeping promises to yourself every day. If I don't shower, I'm going to wash up. That's a promise I'm going to keep to myself till I die. Every year, I'm going to go to the dentist. At least one trip to the dentist. I'm going to keep that promise till I die. If somebody don't like my teeth, say I go to the dentist every year, so I'm working on it. See? They can only knock me down by so much. People can only knock you down by so much. Okay, my hair is short, but my hair is healthy and you can see it's thriving. So, my hair shrinks, but it's still growing. I still got hair. So, I might not have no hair, but I take really good care of my bald head. So, it doesn't really matter if it gets me anything. I'm doing the work. And eventually, it's going to get me something. Because the way the scales are made in the cosmos is that you can only put your energy into something for so long. Eventually, it has to give you something, like a casino machine. If you just be consistent in a higher percentage of being non-consistent. It's not about every day as much as you did yesterday. Sometimes it's not even about every day. It's the fact that your percentage of being consistent is more than being non-consistent. Long as you're doing that, this, as they say, the universe cannot deny you. It has to throw something towards you that you could work with. Hey, if anybody is unsure what I'm talking about, please return to the video topic. I say random downloads. This is why you have to see. This is why it's important to go through life slow. Don't just be pressing buttons on people's videos. Slow yourself down. Read the video topics. Okay? I said random downloads. You can always watch the replay if you're not sure what I'm talking about. I'm leaping. Conversations are supposed to be an adventure. If we don't want conversational adventures, then you go to college. See, that's you go to college. If you want one thing to be talked about for 2 hours straight, you go to college. Okay? Y'all, I got a smart mouth. You go to college. But if you want to be in a social group where conversations switch like they do when you're outside talking to people, then you come to live videos. I'm a freestyle teacher. I give what the creator has flowing through me. When I do structured videos, structured lessons, those are scheduled, and then and normally there's a fee. But in the morning hours, I let it flow from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. I let it flow. I plan. I make a big plan of what main subject I'm going to speak to God about, and then whatever little subtopics and flow state that the creator give me, that's what I share. And whatever that main topic that I spoke to God about this morning is between me and God. Some people wake up and all they want to talk to God is about money. Money only. That's them. But I know that there's way too many ways to make money for me to be obsessing over it. There's just way too many ways. I want to obsess over my inner power, because can't nobody take that from me. When I'm in the bed dying of some weird disease, no one can take that. When I can't talk, when my speech is gone, no one can take that from me. It's still inside my mind. My consciousness is the undefeatable bag of wealth. Whatever's in my conscious space here, whatever my subconscious is willing to release to my consciousness up here, it is a bag that cannot be destroyed. And it is a bag that I'm going to be leaving to my grandchildren and to my daughter when I die. This conscious space is going to be all floating around her for her to absorb, since my physical body is not here to directly speak to her. So my conscious space is something that I intend to glamorize and keep glamorizing, having abundant when I wake up. And it is only abundant if it also solves my problems. It has to solve my problem too. Otherwise, I'm just probably chasing the bag. I just want to solve everybody else's problems. I mean, then, okay, how deep can you get into that record if it doesn't solve your problem too? If it's not your current problem, how deep can you go in? This is why at some point, even some creators, they always got to, use other people's content or other people's knowledge, because they can't go but so deep because it's not their problem. There's 200-pound bodybuilders ripped thinking they can go in deep into the psychology, the psychological part of being obese, and they can't. So they're stuck with just textbook stuff because it's not their problem. My problem and my solutions for my problem is going to solve somebody's problem out here. But once my problem has been solved, at least like 13 months, a whole year solved, then it's probably not that abundant for me. And I'm probably not going to be any more powerful in it as I think I can be. I'm just going to be dreaming, thinking that I'm super powerful in it when really I'm just going to outside resources all the time to prove my power in it. Y'all, I could get so deep sometimes that sometimes it even blows me away. All right, I just gotta say that, I be my biggest fan when I'm done doing my purpose. I do like this because waiting on other people, it's too competitive. Especially since I'm an African American woman, people think I owe them for some reason. The ice is always colder than mine. This is why at some point, even when I do morning live videos, I'm like, okay, I know a lot more, but I'm not going to give a lot more for free because I don't owe more than other people just because of their race and gender. I don't owe anything more to society. Actually, I know how much karma I have, and I know my karmic debt is clear. This is why I always see 7s and 8s. I always see money signs. When you always see money signs, the money sign scriptures, your karma is clear. Your karmic debt is paid. So I'm not really that worried, to be honest, whether someone says good job, Ms. V, because it's going to come to me in a knowledge way. The compliments of my hard work has to come in knowledge or money sent to my cash app, one way or another, because my karmic debt is clean. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. If y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to send a donation, you can send donations to my cash app at Coach V Hunter. I appreciate all your donations. Please look in the community news for my announcements. I decided one day a week I'm going to talk to y'all on this channel and on weekends only. So I will see y'all this weekend on this channel, or I will see you on my upcoming channel, or both, okay? I want to start teaching through my actual lifestyle. So I really hope I see y'all on my lifestyle channel. I'm starting a new one, and it's not going to have no shorts on it. I didn't realize that shorts, for most channels, it messes up your views and your promotion. I started on my views crashed. So I've been watching the videos of Learning with Trey. Learning with Trey is a channel hosted by an African American guy who owns a very abundant channel with a puppet on it called Keisha. Okay, his videos with puppet Keisha is very funny. So he has a YouTube channel where he's talking about what not to do when you start new YouTube channels and what to do. So I plan to my new YouTube channel already set up. I plan to do exactly all the things he said. And one of the things that I'm not going to do, as he says not to do, is I'm not going to do shorts unless I make it a channel just for shorts. I did not know that. Okay. So YouTube is primarily promoting my shorts on this channel and my other channel. But I want an abundant long form channel. So I'm starting a new long form only channel. And I'm going to be putting love into my videos. I'm going to be thinking of quality and not quantity. Okay? So my new channel may have only 3 videos up, but it's going to be obvious that I put in some work. Okay? But just so y'all don't get this channel deleted, I still have to put a video up at least once a week. YouTube may delete your channel if your views are too low and you're not as active, or it just seems like you're not returning, and losing this channel would be not good for y'all. Okay, I say not for y'all because I already used the lessons that I put on this channel. I've already benefit from them. Some of these lessons y'all haven't benefit from yet because y'all haven't y'all haven't found the videos on the channel yet, or they're members only, or they're private. So until I can get those videos moved into audios and articles, I don't want y'all to lose this channel. You know, there's some creators who don't care. They say, well, it served me. I got the knowledge in here. I made it work. They don't care if you're able to get the replays, or they don't care if you're able to access the videos they already put up. They feel like they already got paid, and the videos aren't bringing them more money on their channel, so they don't care if the channel get deleted. I'm not going to be in that energy because I know some of y'all are just finding my channel, or y'all haven't been here for long. So that's not fair. So what I'll do is give a 9-month period for the growth of my other channel, and for this channel to be nourishing for y'all before I hit the delete button. So basically, when my new channel has the breakthrough that I wanted to have, this channel will become hidden. Y'all won't be able to find it. Or almost all the videos will be private, and there'll be like a special club for this channel. I might just make this a club only channel where the videos can only be, most of the videos can only be watched by people that's on the private access list. I might do that within 9 months when my new channel has its breakthrough. Okay, bye everybody. I got to get going. I have some sprinting to do. I'm trying not to play hooky on my writing sprints and my editing sprints. So normally between this time and over the next hour, I do editing sprints of my work. And then I do insert sprints. Input. I like to do output, deletion, and then input, like Hemingway was doing his work. And then I put it aside. I normally stop when I feel like I know what I'm going to do next, but I make a little note of what I'm going to do next. And then after that, I have to attend. I have a workshop to attend. I have a couple workshops, but look for the announcements in the community news. Bye, everybody. Once again, my cash app is #Coach B Hunter. Bye.